It's your hour. It's my hour. It's our hour. It's the power hour.
Ow now, brown cow.
Ow now, brown cow.
So it's funny. I wasn't exactly sure how I wanted to go about this episode. I've watched a couple people, you know, from both sides or whatever, debate, and I never feel too entertained by it. I think this is a cool, like, social experiment. You two have never met.
Yeah.
Nope. The only thing that you two know about each other is what?
He's married to a guy's sister I went to high school with.
Yes. That.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Did
much.
you go to Maple Grove?
I did not.
Oh, see, there we go.
so-
Two things.
Other than that, what else do you maybe know about each other?
Well, all I know is you said you had a friend that was a little more opposite direction than me.
Yeah.
And when I reached out, it was kind of like, I kind of like waited on it too. Because I was like, I saw it right away. And I just actually like left my small group that morning and my heart was like on fire. I'm like, I'm going to put this thing to the side for a little bit. I'm just going to like throw this out to Mitch later in the day to see if like anyone took the bait. And when I reached out to you, you're like, yeah, no one's reached out to me. I'm like, okay. I'm like, fine, I'm like, I'm not going to I'm never going to make a emotional decision,
Absolutely
like
not.
right
That's
away.
fair.
I'm going to like let just like things, I'm like, I'm just going to throw a feeler out. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, then maybe it's a sign. I don't know.
Absolutely. So I don't really want this to be a debate, honestly.
Yeah.
I want this to
that's
be
fair.
a cordial conversation between all of us. And if we don't even talk politics, I don't care. We don't have to. I mean, the likeliness of this coming out before the election is pretty small.
Oh, yeah, it's
I mean,
Tuesday.
It's on Tuesday.
it's not like you've already voted.
Yeah, right. Like,
And you're on hour 22 of the other podcast getting downloaded still.
that's what I'm saying. And these take long to. Now that I have two different camera angles going, they take a long time to edit.
I honestly just like the way you even phrased it though too. It was like, this has to be very civil, very just like casual. Like when you that's why I was like, oh, this is like intriguing.
Yeah. I mean, our country's pretty divided, 50-50, right?
seems like it.
Correct.
So like the first thing that like came to my mind was, what were your pre-thoughts, your pre-notions? Did you guys have any like thoughts about what the other person was going to be like? And I want full honesty. Like if you thought that he was going to be a D-bag, just say it. And if you thought that he was going to be so when Sam
Well, I came second to the party because you said, when you put the preface out there, you said you had someone in mind.
So Sam and I
how
were
this whole thing
actually
even came about. That's why I was curious.
Yeah, I was trying to think what I posted that you reached out on.
So
there was
Sam and
something
I-
like not the like main media. It's not like, I think it was about the fracking.
Yeah, I don't even remember, honestly. But we were supposed to just do a podcast.
Yeah.
And we've been canceling and rescheduling
Yep.
and all that. And then you posted that, and I was like, oh, that's kind of relevant. That might be kind of fun to do. Something about the election or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the more I went on about it, I was like, I just think it would be a cool social experiment to have two people. The only thing that they know about each other is that one is more left and one is more right. And we should be able to have a simple conversation
I agree.
and a
1000%.
cordial conversation. And like, it shouldn't be this thing where we have this predetermined notion about who somebody is just because you know how they vote.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we can't just judge people based off of one factor.
No, for sure.
The one thing I thought about you possibly was that you played baseball.
I did not.
Ah,
So that was a good
I
shot.
only
Good
was
shot,
getting that
though.
because of the host, though. So
That was a good shot out there, though. I mean,
some type of sport.
football, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
So yeah,
Some
you
type
threw
of-
a sport, yeah.
Yeah,
There you
high
go.
school, college, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were feeling a little inspired because I think you posted this
a couple weeks ago.
like the day after the VP debate. And
Oh, that's what I was posting
And the
about
VP
them.
debate
Okay.
was way
Yep.
more civil than the
I
presidential
agree.
debate.
Yeah.
And that's when I thought you got the inspiration to be like, I must have been, and I'm like, I feel like Mitch was talking to a friend that night after the debate
Yeah.
and thought, man, this would be a cool podcast if we do something similar to like, because they were like complimenting each other and like
It
agreeing
felt
sometimes.
so nice.
I was like, why can't these two be the essentially?
No, it felt so nice just to not have like.
It was respectful disagreement.
You didn't sit back and be like, "Are they seriously
Are we-
going
are we
about this
12?
right now?" Like
Yeah.
when they,
we-
Biden and Trump started talking about their handicaps.
That was
Oh my
It was like
That-
hilarious.
that
It was
was
hilarious, but
hilarious.
like at the same time, it's like I gotta vote for one of these guys.
I told you I'll play with you. Carry your own bag.
Yeah, yeah,
Trump's like, I've won 32 club championships or whatever.
yeah.
It's like, what are we talking about?
Biden's
here?
like, I'm a 6 handicap. It's like Biden, please.
I got my handicap down to a 6.
I felt like it was a Thanksgiving dinner where these two cousins are in an internal battle, and it's like the one-up contest
just
of who has the
never
best
liked
story
each
from the year
other.
before,
Right.
and they just keep going back and forth.
Yeah, that was incredible. This whole like presidential election leading up and everything has just been a doozy. I mean,
It's
I
been
feel
insane.
like everything, it's just stuff is coming out left and right.
Oh,
no
yeah.
one knows anything about
No.
what's true, what's not.
No.
Anytime someone says something that they think is true, they debunk it. And same goes for both sides.
Yeah, there's so many cut and paste video clips out there now too. It's just like
It's
it's
what do you
ridiculous.
believe? Like you can take words from what whoever said and just chop it up
Right.
and make it seem
'Cause
like
you
they
don't get
said
the
something that they
context.
did.
Yeah, you don't get the context before or the context after. You're pulling one sentence out of a 8-sentence paragraph.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, yeah, you're gonna make anyone look bad then. It's like all the TV ads, right? Like the finger point on both TV ads are just like
Yes.
ridiculous.
And it's an echo chamber. The internet is an echo chamber. So what you already believe is what you're gonna see.
Sure.
1000%.
Like
It's
if-
confirmation bias.
Yeah, if you lean more right, you're going to see more right content. The algorithm is incredible and it knows exactly what you want to see. And
That's
it
why you
shows
gotta
it to
follow
you.
people.
Yeah.
I follow a lot of right wing comedians.
Do you?
Yeah, like Tyler Fisher. I was making so much fun of him on Instagram.
Were you?
Yeah, like not like he's ever gonna see it, but it was funny for me.
So, like, your main point, I guess, would be you're obviously a Christian, right? You're pretty
Yep.
outspoken about that online. And I guess I don't, know what you're.
I was baptized Christian.
You're a baptized Christian.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
couldn't tell you last time I went to church.
Okay. So that probably pulls you a lot in one direction. And I guess I don't exactly know what pulls you in, like, what drives.
Well, assuming
The way
we're
that-
talking about abortion.
No,
we're going
no,
with
no.
Christian.
That's not what I was bringing up.
Oh, okay.
But I was more saying
That's
what
like-
drives you to.
What drives your values?
What
Is that what
drives
you're trying
your,
to get at?
What drives your ballot?
My
Yeah.
ballot?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm pro-choice, pro-universal healthcare, and then just Minnesota speaking, just like against mining in our own country. Like, I'm not opposed to mining everything, but like we have state parks and everything. Like, why can't we just leave them alone? And as far as like green energy goes, I'm not too like well versed in that, but like, yeah, I do believe in like global warming and everything. I mean, if you guys saw Mount Fuji, I believe it was, there's no snow on it for like the first time ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that like recent?
Yeah, I think I saw it today.
Wow.
So like, and obviously I'm like, in our lifetime, I don't think we'll like reverse that. I don't even have the like knowledge if that's like, if cars and everything are it, but I think the US is like way too car centric.
Car centric? Like,
Yeah,
should be
like-
biking around
Like
more?
emissions, like more hybrids. Is that what you're?
No, not
or
even that. I
electrics,
just
or-
mean like in America, you you need a car unless you live downtown and your entire life is in a downtown city. Like, you need a car to, I don't want to say survive, but to like have a normal functional life. Like, think about in the suburbs where we are right now. Like, where's the closest grocery store? Like, could you go walk and grab groceries? Like, if it was a nice afternoon.
Probably walk like a mile and a half,
See, that's-
2 miles maybe.
That's pretty
The thing is,
gnarly.
you probably
That's
would,
like a
but the majority
25.
of people wouldn't.
Do they do that in other countries?
Well, I mean, like in the UK and stuff, like you can get by on a bike.
Really?
Like a lot of people like have cars and stuff, but you
Yeah,
don't necessarily like. It's not like you. So like, just think of like high school. Like every kid we went to high school with had their own. Well, 90% of us had our own personal vehicles, and then both of our parents had vehicles.
Yeah. Very
Like,
fortunate.
and that's like not
grew up in
even
Maple
like.
Grove. That's not like this.
Well, yeah,
standard,
that's
I don't
exactly
think.
no. But at the same time, like, if someone didn't have a car, whichever friend of theirs did
was probably
picking them up
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, that's not even nowhere near why I look that way on the ballot. But that's like, I guess deep down, that would be like what I would fight for.
The emissions or the
Yeah,
global warming
just
or
like-
climate change.
yeah.
And I feel like that's like probably the biggest thing on each end. Like the biggest thing on the right would be the abortion. That's the non-negotiable, and the biggest thing on the left would be the climate change. And I don't think
Say
that
it's
you would
close.
necessarily say that you disagree with climate change or
Right.
you don't. Maybe I guess I don't exactly know your thoughts. I'm not going to speak for you.
No, it's just, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're gonna like sit here and kind of like you said from the get-go, like whatever I say isn't going to change his opinions and vice versa. Like we have our values. I think the thing we've lost in our country is the ability to not take, everyone's taking like disagreement as disrespect. And that's where I think like lines get crossed between families and friends. Like we cannot respectfully just like, like, do I disagree with what you say? Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to sit here and like, those are your thoughts and your opinions. You're totally entitled to those. Like, I'm not going to try to like force you into submission and be like, oh, how dare you say that you're pro-choice? Like, but that's what I feel like we're at in this like world.
You're right.
Because like
It's-
my opinions are, yes, I am pro-life because of my values and what I believe in. For me, and that's what it's interesting for me to hear because like what values matter to you. And I know you're not, like I'm not speaking from like all the conservatives and you're not speaking for all the Democrats, but just from like from a civil conversation standpoint, like it's interesting because all I hear is like, oh, you should value this as a Republican. Well, like what would it like Democrats value? And then to hear what you value, I'm like, you know what, that does make sense to me. Some of like the emissions stuff and like I'm not well versed on those certain aspects.
Right.
But for me, of course, like abortion, economy, and then migrants, like those are my three things that's why I'm leaning the way I am with the ballot.
Yeah, and I think one of the first, when I first proposed it to you, you came back and you were like,
Oh, yeah.
proud, you said proud libtard.
Yeah, no, I call myself that all the time.
I think I was with my parents. I said that to my mom. And she's like, what's that? And I was like, well, I think it's a combination between, you can kind of put the pieces of the puzzle
she
together
could,
pretty
yeah,
easily.
It's like a little.
And then you said something, what did you say after? You said, you're like, I'll likely go after
I said, like,
a racist or something.
Yeah, I'd had a couple beers, and I think I said, yeah, I'd gladly clap at some racists
Yeah.
or something like that.
So that's the thing, right? That could be a pre-noted thing that you maybe thought that Adam was racist. Adam, are you racist?
Absolutely not. You can ask all the players I go.
Well, no, and that's fair, but I guess like you mentioned migrants was one of your top three. What about migrants?
Just the illegal aspect and just the way our borders have been open for, and what has been like the ripple effect of that, allowing that. I just don't view like that much different than a house. A house has doors for a reason.
So you're saying,
in our country,
yeah.
in our country hasn't felt like it's had doors for a while, and just seeing the ripple effect, not just because of the few things that have happened to whether it's been females or deaths, but then you factor in the fentanyl and the drug trafficking. It's more that type of issue that has been plaguing our country to a larger spectrum. And I know it's been there, but I'm not saying it's a new thing that started in 2020. I know it's been around, but the issue isn't going away. It's only getting like worse. So
Open borders. Do we have, is that like Do we have just our
I
borders
don't know if
wide
it's.
open?
I don't think it's wide open. I would have no idea.
I think there's a lot more immigrants coming in, right?
Yeah, it depends what you read between. I mean, some people say, "Oh, it's 10 million a year." Some people say it's 15 million a year that aren't
Right.
registering.
So
It's
this
more for the fact of the people that are trying to do it the right way to get in our country, whether they're coming from Mexico or if they're coming from overseas.
Yeah.
And there's a way to get into our country from a logistics standpoint.
Mhm.
I feel bad more for like some of those people that are getting put on the burners, like from Greece and whatnot, that are
Right.
trying to get in. Then because
And they
like you
can't.
hear those one-off stories from people like, oh, my grandparents are trying to get in and they can't, and it's like, so it tugs at your heart, right?
Yeah.
But couldn't the same story be said about immigrants possibly trying to get in from Mexico then?
Yeah, I'm saying the ones that are trying to get in the right way
Oh yeah.
by going through a judicial process. I have no issue with if you're trying to get into our country through going through the process.
I guess because when you come over the border, aren't you technically an illegal immigrant while all your paperwork and everything processes? Or are we talking specifically like people like crawling under?
I'm
said
talking
wall?
about like the crawling under. I'm talking about the
People-
like the different like the sex trafficking stuff where they're pulling kids and planting them in places. I'm talking about like that kind of stuff that's going on, like the cartel stuff.
It's fair view.
Yeah, I don't think anyone agrees with the cartel. Hopefully the cartel doesn't come after us for talking about them, but
They come all the way to Minnesota.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
They might
I'll
have
give them
ties
my
in
address and
Canada.
take them off your bed. All right. I'll give Jeff a forewarning to come over with his stack of guns. We'll be all right.
that would be bad. That is a crazy thought. I mean, the cartel is everywhere. And we probably don't even know it.
In
where
the
they
U.S.?
are. Yeah, wouldn't you think?
No.
You don't think the cartels?
I don't think they're
think-
littered. I mean, we have enough of our own gangs. I think the specifically if we're talking like narcos, cartel, I think they stick to their
Maybe they
roots.
stick to their roots.
Oh, yeah.
Mexico. Yeah, maybe. I would assume that they have eyes kind of everywhere.
I personally believe that they know they have enough power that they know if they start fucking with the U.S. that
Maybe.
it's game over.
Yeah.
So they're content where they are.
They're
No, I'm
fair.
not saying that they're the ones coming into the U.S. and trafficking or anything like that. I think the cartel is kind of like
How crazy is it that
the top dogs.
humans are just trafficked?
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
And like people are
There's
ripped
n-
away from their families and
There's
just-
nothing else to be said about it.
Yeah.
sold
The numbers
on
are
what-
astonishing.
Yeah. It's,
Because whether you see it's 300 or 300,000, it's still like even one is crazy to think,
yeah.
let alone hundreds of thousands. And then you get to thousands. It's nuts.
I mean, they've found truckloads of people. And I mean, this is whoever's president, I think.
Yeah.
Like people are just, whether it's Trump or Kamala, I don't think that it matters. There's still going to be sex trafficking. And there's still going to be human trafficking.
Oh yeah, I mean, Diddy wasn't a immigrant, was he?
Diddy was not an immigrant.
Yeah, there we go.
Diddy's in jail. I don't know a
Yeah,
whole
he's
lot
in
about
jail.
the Diddy situation.
I just hear the baby oil memes.
it's that's yeah.
But I think there was some
there's a lot
trafficking in
to,
there.
There's a lot to come from that
There is a lot to come
Yeah.
from
because
that.
there's a lot of people that are trying to make sure stuff stays under wraps right now. They're trying to cover their asses.
There's a lot of powerful people that are wiping stuff under the rug.
Yeah,
Correct.
a little terrifying.
It's a little terrifying.
It's
Yeah. What about Jeffrey? Was he an immigrant? Epstein?
Jeffrey was not. No.
No. Yeah. See, it's
And-
not just immigrants.
No.
Definitely not.
No.
No, and I don't
Yeah.
think Adam was saying
No.
that.
No. I'm just saying, like, yeah. No. It as to your point, like, it doesn't matter who's president. Like,
It's going to happen.
it's yeah,
regardless.
exactly. That's what I mean by that.
no,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure.
I feel like I did listen to the Trump and Rogan, and he did throw out some a statistic
The whole
about.
thing.
Yeah, I listened to all
Oh,
3
wow.
hours. Did you?
Oh,
listened
I
to
tried.
his.
I tried.
he was doing the weed.
I did his and JD's too.
Okay.
I haven't listened to
JD's
JD's yet.
Came out like yesterday or
I
something.
think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oops.
it was about 3.5.
That's so.
So
long.
what was up with? There were some emails lurking around. I don't exactly know if they were true. That obviously Joe invited Kamala on as well,
Yeah,
But she said that he had to go to the White House or something, or to her.
He had to go to the White House, and he could
I don't
only
think it
do
was
it
the
for
White House.
And he could only go for.
Well, she's the VP.
Well,
so
I
I'm
think it
assuming-
was just she wanted
Or
to
wherever
meet
she
somewhere
was.
she was like campaigning. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it could only be for an hour.
Yeah. Well, I wonder why.
I mean, I think that's fair.
I don't.
I mean, so
don't really
like,
know.
Curious what
I
you mean
just,
by you think
like-
that's fair.
so
It's
okay,
fair
'cause,
to say
like,
no,
people,
100%.
No, because people are giving Kamala flack because she's not doing it. Like Joe Rogan, like, yeah, he might have like the world's top podcast, but does that mean just because Trump did it, like she has to?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. Like, who
Right.
cares if she says no? She has that right.
Yeah.
Trump said no
100%.
to a debate on Fox.
Right.
So like,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more so interesting from the fact if you're trying to get more male voters that you just wouldn't take that opportunity. That was why I was just.
no, I mean
thought
with
that was interesting.
yeah, with Rogan, like, and he's down in Texas, like it, you know. I don't want to say
It's
it's a
maybe a
swing
little
state.
intimidating for her.
No, because I think from what I've seen on the Rogan and very little of the JD one, I mean, I think it was fair. Like going into it, you hear, in my mind, you hear Rogan and Trump, like back to that echo chamber. Like I didn't think Rogan would like press him at all. Especially he started off, he's like, everyone cuts you off. I'm going to give you the time to speak.
Well, Trump could talk for 3 hours.
Yeah,
straight.
and then Joe is like cutting him off. He's like, oh, okay, hold on here. Maybe I regret that saying, but
I definitely enjoyed the JD one better in terms of just like true. Like I feel like two guys sitting at a happy hour catching up after work, just vibes they were giving off.
that's
Okay.
fair.
It was very, very chill.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, she doesn't have to do anything that she doesn't want to do.
Oh
That's
no, I just
that's
think
the matter of
like
the fact.
I've just seen so many people like, if you want to like criticize her or whatever, or I don't want to say people, like headlines. That's what you see. It's like, oh, Kamala's afraid to do Rogan. It's like, yeah, I don't,
Do you think?
maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. Do you think that she might be a little bit?
I wouldn't say afraid. I would just say she like is, especially in like the last, because I mean, we're in like the last, 4 or 5 days now, but at that point, it's like
Right.
a week and a half. I would say she probably outweighed her pros and cons, and it wasn't like
It wasn't a must.
it wasn't a must, or, you know, it wasn't, she had things that she thought would bring in more voters to her side that were a bigger priority.
The
Okay.
attention that episode got was nuts. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it got a couple 100 million views.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that much already?
Yeah.
There was 50 million on YouTube alone, and
It was like, I could be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure I saw it when it was like 4 hours out, or like posted 4 hours ago, and it was like 20-something million.
yeah,
Yeah.
nuts.
JD's is only it's already at 15 million in.
Oh my
A
gosh,
day.
that's probably
pretty
what our
wild.
episode's gonna get.
Yeah, that's
probably.
right.
I would assume
I think we just
something
keep-
like that.
I think if we just keep saying JD, Kamala, and then
Let's just
Trump,
get these
the
buzzwords going.
algorithm is just gonna all of a sudden boost this thing through the roof.
Maybe we could like try to talk about something in the future that we could predict.
Oh, well, no, this is good because honestly, this is gonna come out after the election,
That's
so
what I
there is
mean.
already a president.
Yeah,
True.
There's a sitting president. We have no idea. Maybe it's a flyer. Who knows?
True.
maybe they tie.
What if they die?
We had
And this just lingers.
No, they just share office.
Oh, that'd be nuts.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
oh my gosh.
That'd be a wild conspiracy.
I don't think anything would get done.
Yeah, the conspiracies are wild. There's conspiracies on anything and everything. The internet is so hostile.
Do you think that we're like in this? Because I mean, I haven't voted in every election I've been eligible for, but like I feel like no prior, maybe Hillary and Trump in 2016, but nothing prior has been like this, like wild. Do you think that has a lot to do with social media nowadays?
1000%.
So it's only gonna like progress.
Everybody is so loud and obnoxious on social media, and then when it comes down to being face to face, people turtle.
Yes.
Yeah.
1000%.
And like you can leave so many comments trolling and doing whatever, and then you see someone in person and they're like,
What up,
oh
dude?
yeah, what's up, man? Can I get a picture or whatever it is? And it's like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
Keyboard warrior.
Keyboard warriors. And yeah, I don't know. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, I'd be shocked if the 2028 election, though, to be honest, has as much like buzz as this one. To your point,
Oh,
like
it'll be more.
16 was peak. 20 I felt tamed down from 16's election, and then this year's been like
16.
2016 was Hillary and Trump.
Hillary and Trump.
I
and
felt
then
like
it was Hillary
that
and Trump
one. I just
again,
remember
or
the way
Biden and Trump.
Biden and Trump.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And then Biden and Trump, right? I think because of all the different dynamics between all the back and forth between male, female, and how outlandish Trump can be with some of the stuff he says, and how he's so doesn't bite his tongue
At all.
at all. And
Sometimes
I think,
you just want to tell him to shut up. When
Right.
he's talking. It's like,
which I do.
and I think it's both sides would agree with that. It's
Right,
like, just
I agree.
stop. Don't
I agree.
Don't
He-
talk to Joe about your handicap.
He would have won.
Joe took that bait though.
Yeah, he did.
Hook,
I'm
line, and
convinced
sinker.
Trump would have won 2020 if he didn't ever debate. Because I think once he started opening and doing all the Twitter stuff, I think that's when, because he was crushing
I think-
polls up until
I think
then,
the
and then he fell off the rails.
I think the
Yeah.
Twitter stuff is
Killed
just
him back then.
insane. Like I don't like. I would maybe have to look back and see, but you just like it's like all like 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. like all caps. Just it's like high school.
which is
Really?
which is
You've
weird.
never
even-
seen
I don't
any
even
of this?
follow 'em. No,
Oh,
I
I don't
don't
know.
follow either
I
of
don't
them.
have
Yeah.
Twitter. I've never. All right, okay. She can't say never. I had it for like 2 years in high school, but
Right.
no, I just see it all over like social media. It's like he's like, dude, after Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala, he's like all caps. I hate Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
That's all it said.
Taylor Swift has always been kind of democratic, right?
She always has
Yeah,
been.
I think so.
Is it?
So it wasn't like a shock to the system when she came out and endorsed
No,
her.
not at all.
Are celebrities paid by the parties?
No.
Yeah.
They have to be.
Beyonce
think
got
so?
paid a good coin to go
They
speak last
have
week,
to be.
and then she left right away, and like 10,000 people walked out of the arena.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
'Cause they thought she was going to
10,000 people probably went to see Beyonce. Beyonce said one thing, I endorsed Kamala, and then everyone's like, no concert?
Yeah.
She could have gave a roast.
She could have.
Worked
But-
well for Tony.
I mean, so do you think that they're just swayed to use their influence and just money talks? And it's just
I
like,
don't-
hey, all right, the Republicans are offering me 20 million and the Democrats are offering me 25. I'm going to be a Democrat now.
I feel like people with that one, like Beyonce, I don't think there's any amount of money that either party could give her where she's like,
Yeah,
if
she's
she
like a
didn't actually
billionaire,
believe
isn't
in
she?
some of it, where she'd be like, yep, I'm just going to say that for a paycheck. Like she should be fine.
Back to the Diddy list.
All right, there we go.
Touche.
Maybe there's no,
She-
maybe
there
there's a
might be
very
something
little
there.
amount of money she'll take.
Yeah, there might be something.
There's
there.
some, yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of celebrities in Hollywood, they all lean a little left, anyways. More than not.
I wonder why.
I would
that
say
is.
with like,
Or maybe they're more
Because you
outspoken about it.
even you hear like from celebrities that are more conservative or faith based, they come out and say how secular some of the stuff is that they are. I mean, Diddy's stuff and all that. Like,
What celebrities are more right leaning, I guess?
Tony Hinchcliffe.
He's like,
What's-
he's like
gosh.
a C-list celebrity, isn't he?
I mean,
He would maybe call himself an A-list after
mean,
that
yeah,
roast.
no.
It was like, all right.
No,
Tony,
in
the
the-
roast
in
was
the-
good, but
in the normal world, I would have no idea what to put him. But in the comedy world, you should know who that is. But
I mean, you're
that's
thinking
obviously a
A-list,
different world.
A-list. You're thinking like
Costner, maybe. Is he
Costner?
A-list?
Is he?
You
Yeah,
think?
Kevin?
for sure.
Oh yeah, I'd put him up as
I would
A-list.
put him up
Yeah,
there.
Brad Pitt.
I guess I was asking if
I don't know
he's,
if Brad
is
would
he's
weigh-
Republican. Costner. is?
Costner is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who's? Gosh, I'm trying to think. I can see the guys. Dennis Quaid.
Okay.
He's been very
Yeah.
outspoken lately.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's A-list anymore, but he used to be in a lot of movies.
Who's Dennis Quaid?
Dennis Quaid was he played the baseball
The
player.
baseball. Yeah, he was like the old
Oh, in
pitcher
the
in
baseball
that
movie?
baseball movie. Like
Uh,
pitched for
Field
like the
of Dreams.
Cubs. Yeah,
Field of Dreams.
yeah.
Any other movies?
Um,
Doesn't really matter. I'm just curious. Now.
Yeah.
You're right.
If-
What
if
is
you
the baseball
saw-
movie where he pitched for the Cubs and he was like the high school baseball coach?
He was like a 45-year-old reliever
should
that came in
know
and
this.
threw
This is
gas.
bad.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
know.
dude.
That's not the rookie.
No,
Or
it is.
the
It is the rookie.
That's right.
Yeah.
B-list
We're
celebrity.
back on track.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
B-lister for sure now.
Taylor Swift is
Once
an
you say
A-lister
it.
for sure.
Yeah.
She's like the biggest star in the world.
You
There
think?
is something about
I
Taylor
actually
Swift
probably.
that if you go at Taylor Swift, you are automatically canceled. Like the
Maybe.
world just canceled. Look at Kanye West.
Oh,
And
he
Kanye
did a lot
West,
more.
yes, I understand
He deserved
that,
that
like the
one.
phone call, right? That
What
him
phone
and
call?
well, him and Kim Kardashian like chopped up a phone call with Taylor Swift, and they got like the
No idea.
rights to some of her music or something because of it.
Interesting.
But they blackmailed her off
Ah.
of a phone call.
I think that's illegal.
Yeah, very. But they got away with it, or kind of. I don't exactly know what Kanye's up to, but
I don't know. Being crazy. Last I heard.
and it's like Dave Portnoy is like this huge Taylor Swift fan because
Is that the Barstool Sports guy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I have this
Thought
crazy
so.
theory about Taylor Swift that is very outlandish.
I want to hear
but
it.
This is the time and place. Dude, the algorithm is going to love this
I need to
conversation
hear
right
this
now.
Taylor Swift, if you like I said, if you go at Taylor Swift, you get canceled. The Swifties are nuts. They're gonna go for your throat.
1,000%.
You better watch what you
Dave
say.
Portnoy runs the largest media company in the U.S.
Okay.
Likely, I mean Barstool Sports. One of
It's got.
them,
It's got.
right?
I mean,
I
I knew.
think so.
I knew who he was. I've never.
Fox,
I think so.
CNN, Barstool Sports. I don't know, but he's
Bally
like constantly
Sports.
like, I'd never go at Taylor. Like, I love Taylor Swift. He's constantly shoving that down people's throats. Like, I cannot go at Taylor Swift. And then anyone who ever goes at her, it's like, boom, they disappear. Like,
I mean,
I
I get it. I'm not like denying you or disagreeing, but like if you're Dave Portnoy, like why? What do you have to gain going after Taylor Swift?
he's not going after her.
No, I know,
He's
but I'm
agreeing
saying
with
like
her.
no, I'm saying like if so, like
Because
in
if you get on her
Kanye's
good side, you
instance,
probably get shot
you
up the
get
ranks. Shot up
Yeah.
the ranks, yeah.
I actually saw. Speaking of like D-list celebrities, I saw a very, very low-list comedian who had a one-on-one selfie shot with Taylor Swift at a Chiefs game. She was with like Andrew Santino and a couple other comedians, and then there's just like the lowest of the low comedian. That's pretty mean. Not the lowest of the low. He's hanging out with Andrew Santino, but like I was like, what in the world?
Well, all those
Zach
people are tied
Townsend.
together somehow. There's
Yeah.
who else went at Taylor Swift? And
Wasn't there? I have no idea, but like some like younger pop star that was like, oh, she's like slow down on the tours, like
I
let
mean-
some of us like enjoy this like
Oh,
fame too.
I heard that. I don't know who it was.
I-
but I've,
yeah, I
I've
don't-
heard that.
yeah,
I heard
like-
that come out.
no one knows her name.
Exactly. To Mitch's point, yeah. There we go.
Point.
Point.
I rest my case. it's
So that's just to your point, though. The power of like
the power of
media, but
somebody
also
like
the
that.
fact of cancel culture within the media ranks and just exiling people off of whatever. And yeah,
I'll say that knowing her concert tickets, like, and knowing like, personally knowing people that are like traveling and going
It's
to these
ridiculous.
concerts, like you can vote for whoever you want to, but like that's the respect is way lower when I hear
for
that.
sure.
What if you're
Like if you're gonna go travel like out
pay
of
$1 million
state
to
and
go to
pay
Taylor
like
Swift concert?
$1,200 per ticket,
That's
I don't
what
like
I'm
to
saying.
like I
I
think
don't
that's
like
on
to
the
use
low
this.
end, dude.
I don't like to use this word, but can we agree there's a not every Swiftie, but there's a separate level of Swifties that we consider like cultish. I don't like to use the cult
Yeah.
word.
Ooh.
Because
Oh, yeah.
even like I remember the Vikings played the Chiefs at home last year, right?
Mhm.
She announced she wasn't coming to the game, and there were still like 3,000 Swifties that showed up to US Bank just in case she changed her mind to come. And they were
think I remember
they were
that.
interviewing them on the news, and like, yeah, we drove up from Chicago, we drove up from Des Moines. I'm like, that's not like just like driving in from Rochester, Mankato. Like you are driving 4-6 hours with the hopes of seeing her for 10 seconds. It's not
From
she-
like
she's not.
300
Yeah,
she's
not
yards
even
away.
seeing
performing.
probably seeing her on the big screen.
right.
Yeah, and it's a visitor stadium too, so it's not like she's gonna be like getting publicity. on the
Oh,
Jumbotron.
she does any football game she
Yeah.
goes to. She's like on camera. They make sure to go to Taylor
But
Swift.
they're just
Yeah.
like, they're camping out just to see her for 10 seconds. Because they're not even going to the game. And they're showing up for it.
I just don't get it.
Like,
I
it's
just
just-
don't get it. She's had a couple good songs for sure. There was one that I listened to back in college. I forgot what it was called.
22.
You
when
Belong
turned
With Me?
22.
No, not that one. Well,
I said you belong with me.
yeah, that's a good
That's
one.
that's like 2012.
No, I see the guitar. It was Love Story. You were struck on it. Yeah. You were serenading Amy. Let's get
Probably
real.
that one. No, it was. We watched the music video a bunch of times, but I mean, her music is so poppy. It's not really my style.
Oh, I thought you were saying like it's. I thought you were about to go the other way on that one.
What?
That you were
That
like,
I'm a huge
yeah. It's like it's so
Swiftie,
poppy.
yeah.
I love it.
I'm trying not to get canceled. I'm trying to boost this podcast, so we're gonna talk really good about Taylor
Yeah.
Swift.
Yeah.
I texted her to see if she could come.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy how much influence those people have,
For sure.
and like how many votes they probably sway. But at the end of the day, like,
Nah, I agree with
gotta-
Adam on this one. I think her endorsement is. Meh.
I would. I got
What
a
do you mean
question
it's-
for both you guys.
Okay.
If I can ask.
yeah,
I know
yeah,
you're the host.
Absolutely, go ahead.
But, all right. So I think there's like a good percentage that are extremists on the right and the left, right?
Mhm.
And then there's like let's say a middle gray area. So what percent, like on a scale of like 1 to 100, like you would say what, like would you say like 30% extreme right and left, and then at least 40 in the middle, or would you say it's like 40-40 and then 20 in the middle? Like how many true people are kind of like in the middle that could, you guys think, get swayed one way or the other?
So I think that RFK was like endorsing. I think he was like 19 or 20%.
Okay.
He was getting, or polling or whatever, until he
Withdrew.
until he withdrew and endorsed Trump.
Mhm.
So I would assume it's somewhere around there. 20% of people maybe voting independent.
Yeah.
40% on each
You-
side.
I think 20% of people will vote independent.
No, I think 20. Well, 20. He was polling 20% of the country. So
Oh,
I would
so
assume
you're saying
20%
like
of people
20 are like
probably
split.
are
Gray
pretty
area.
split in
Gotcha.
the gray area.
And maybe
but that's
Part of that
I don't
20%
know.
doesn't end up voting too, right? Because we know everyone doesn't vote.
Right.
I was just kind of
I just
curious.
thought of that today, or
like,
I just heard that today actually. But
yeah, because you think of all the
You think it's
between
40%?
between the debates and the rallies that they do for all this like propaganda medias on both sides. Is that really actually like how many people are actually getting swayed from any of that stuff? I was just
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the other day.
yeah.
I'd say very little.
I feel like a lot of people are set. It doesn't matter what name's on the ballot. You could just literally write in Republican or Democrat, and people are just going to go like they're not going
Right.
They're not checking. Oh, this person at the polls. They're just going to go this line or this line more times than as at least
I'm
what I
still
feel.
reading policies though.
Yeah,
So like if a Democratic Party came on and was like, yeah, like let's frack the boundary waters and let's, ban abortion, like that would suck. Like I would then like.
well, yeah, you would know that then going in.
I mean, that's obviously
that's a very rare
extreme,
case
but like
for a
that's
Democrat
obviously
to say
extreme.
that.
But like, yeah, unless there's obviously, I'm not going to agree with every Democratic policy, and there might be some even on the Republican side that I agree with.
Yeah.
But there's the main ones that I'm sure most people have that unless those change, like yeah, you're right, I will always vote down that side.
And I don't agree with every Republican policy either. I agree with a couple of them. But it's just like which one aligns more.
Which
the end of
ones
the
would
day?
you say you agree with?
I would say it's more the fact that it's like I don't agree with either for certain things, because I think Republicans party values overall are more middle than they are truly like right. To be honest, I feel like they're more closer to being I feel like it's more like moderate versus a left than a right versus a left. To be honest, because I feel with the way even like JD answers the abortion question, I don't get a clear answer from Trump and JD because that's not a high priority for them. So they kind of give you a fluff answer, in my opinion. I feel they tiptoe around it by just like, oh, it's on the states. Oh, it's on the
Right.
states.
And that's what it is on, right?
No,
Is it not? It's not state to state. Because is
There's
Minnesota's policy
it
different
is
from
so it is
Texas's
technically
policy?
state to state, but there's no federal ruling.
There's
on
no
it,
federal
right?
ruling.
So is there going to
So
be
it
a
is
federal
technically
ruling
state-
after the election?
Yes. Well,
Depends who wins.
Trump wants one.
Okay. And what will his federal ruling be?
Ban.
Oh, that's
Ban
different than what I
all
thought.
abortion?
That's
I
what
thought-
is. I don't want to say he has like a policy for it, but that is what has been being said. Yes.
I'm going to disagree with that because JD literally said on the Rogan thing it's to keep the power at the state level and not change it. After they got
So-
Roe v. Wade overturned in 2022. the
Okay, but
Supreme Court, they're gonna keep
why?
that the
But
same.
why have it at a state level?
That's where I disagree with them because I just want a straight.
You can either
Ban
ban an
across the
abortion
board.
or no. Oh, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, we're the United States of America. So if someone lives here in Minnesota, why do they have different rights in terms of medical practices that someone in another state in the same country doesn't have access to?
You're saying why?
Like why? Yeah, exactly. Why?
Why do we do that?
I mean, it's like put it like a leg surgery. Obviously, it's way different, but like at the end of the day, what you kind of are saying is like if you break your leg in Minnesota, you're fine. You have access to healthcare, but if it happens in Texas, like you better get some stick and some twine and wrap that up.
The toughest part is that I mean, obviously as a parent, like the babies don't have a choice.
Okay,
Right?
but that's the assumption that every abortion is killing a breathing fetus. That's not always the case.
Do you know when a heartbeat starts?
I'm not arguing. So this is my stance on abortion. If I were to knock a girl up, let one night stand, doesn't matter. I'm not going to go to her and say, we need to abort this. I'm not pro-abortion myself. But if there's medical issues, if it is a one night stand or something, and that girl doesn't want a thing to do with it, that's not my reason to say. I can't control this lady.
Abortion's a tough subject.
Yeah.
No, and
Especially as a parent.
and
Yeah.
I get that, but so like
Babies are so innocent.
they are.
And-
I'm not disagreeing with that.
If it puts the mother at some sort of risk, I mean, I'm not sure. Or the baby has like I don't know. Or the baby's dead. I guess I don't.
There you go.
Because is that technically an abortion if a baby dies in the womb?
Yes.
Right.
If a baby dies in the womb and a woman goes in to have it surgically removed rather than natural processes,
It's considered
it's an abortion.
So
That's
you're
why
saying
I put
if it was
the-
banned, then they would have to go full
Look
term
at-
with a dead
Yes.
fetus inside of them?
So, well, those don't always. So you can pass a dead fetus naturally, but that can cause a risk of the mother bleeding out. That can cause a number
Yeah,
of
the
health
stillbirth.
problems. Yeah, stillbirth. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So, but like at the same time, if you go into like a normal checkup and they do the ultrasound and it says, and they come back and they're like, we're sorry, there's no heartbeat. Like, do you want to go home or do you want to,
Right.
have an operation and go home without, possible complications?
Yeah, and then you get into abuse, right? And if someone is abused, but I mean, what are the percentages on these? Like,
Well, I have no
what are
idea.
right? Like
2%
of
abortions are rape and incest.
okay. How many abortions are there per year? Do you know?
I think it's like 2 million.
2 million abortions.
Yeah. And there's there's like 1 million people that are on like an adoption, like wait list to like adopt a kid. That's what's like the cruddy part about it all.
But how many kids are in foster homes this day? Why are they waiting to go adopt?
Because they don't have enough kids to get. I don't know how that whole process works.
It's probably because they're trying to get a newborn, I would assume, rather than foster care.
No, I
is
get
you're
that.
gonna get an older
Yeah.
kid. So
You
I just
can.
think that the wait list would be for a newborn baby. I'm not exactly sure.
Again,
Abortion is such a tough subject,
Yeah.
and
And we're all men here.
yeah,
So I guess my stance on it is a ban, state or federal, like that solves nothing. That's what you want,
Yeah.
coat hanger. Like,
well, you're right, and you do have a
It-
point. Like it's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah.
People are gonna figure out how to do it, whether they go to another country or, like you said, a coat hanger.
like we don't allow like some plastic surgeries in here, in the state or in this country.
like BBLs.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah, exactly. Do you think that it just stops?
I think that's a totally different subject.
It is, but like, it's
I think when
I think when you implement policy, you know that change isn't going to be immediate, right? Like
Well-
rules are put in place. I think where we are lost as a country, in my personal opinion, is our moral compass is way off. In terms of like it's the fact of like your intent to have intercourse with somebody. What's that? It should go back to the root of like why are we engaging in this relationship.
right,
And that's where I think we're looking just at once the pregnancy happens, which is actually kind of a miracle for a pregnancy to happen. Because on the flip side, how many friends we have that have been trying for years and they haven't been able to have it, right? And have to go the
Right.
IVF route and
Right.
things like that. So I'm not like knocking that the one-off cases, especially the rape and incest. I'm not trying to be like insensitive to that on that flip side, but it's more the fact of like, what's the intent behind why that was even created? And that's where I think we've lost sight based off of what is in our face with media, movies, social media, and what's projected in society.
if you're having consensual sex with someone and you get pregnant, I feel like the moral thing would not be to get an abortion.
agreed, 100%.
I think the world would probably agree with that. I don't exactly know.
Right.
I think that you're choosing to have intercourse with someone else, and if that's what you're choosing, then
You know,
you're running the risk of
Yes.
getting pregnant, and you have the choice to put that child up for adoption, where it's in like a case like that, it's pretty unfair to just
Yeah, but with that statement, it sounds like you guys are implying that every abortion is like, oh shit, we're pregnant, perfectly healthy fetus, no complications, but I don't want a kid.
well,
Abort
I mean,
it.
again, this is a one-off, but there's also been 1,000 other stories. I think we all know who Tim Tebow is, right?
yeah.
He was supposed to be aborted. His mom was supposed to die while trying to. The doctor said, "You got to abort this baby. You got to abort. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. You're gonna die." And she said, "Nope, nope, 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 nope." And we got Tim Tebow now.
Did she die?
Nope.
Miracle. But on the other end, how many mothers have had that and then have passed?
I'm not sure. I wish we had the numbers. Jamie, check out the.
Yeah.
Jamie.
No,
It's a really hard subject.
Oh, it's
I think.
Yeah.
And this
And
is
I
Again,
think
this
go
is
ahead.
the agree to disagree type conversation.
And I think that, like, from a morality standpoint, most of America can agree that we shouldn't be killing babies,
yes.
Yeah.
right?
But-
I think that, but there's all these situations that come about, right? That we've talked about, where
I think we agree on this at least too. It feels like there's a lot of gray area with it, right?
so much. It's like
the
it's
state,
all
the
That's-
state by
gray.
state
It's
thing and all that.
situation.
Like I think that's like the root of this because there's no clarity. Like when there's no clarity, that's when people get confused and batten down the hatches and like pick a side and like, they're just people like we just need clear direction
But
with major things, and we're not getting clear direction. I feel from. That's why I'm frustrated with the Republican side about it because I don't feel like I'm getting a clear answer every time it gets asked. It is a dance around, be like, oh, state, state. It's
Yeah.
like, because I get it. Like
We're
you're
gonna stick away from
prioritizing.
this.
We're going to keep our focus on economy and migrants. Like that's what they're hitching there, and they're like trying to, because they're trying to still at the end of the day play the game to get the women vote.
Mhm.
So they're trying to like just sweep that one underneath the rug to get to the next question as quick as possible. Because I remember seeing like a second, like a minute by minute breakdown of like this percentage was talked about, economy, and this, like it's always like the lowest percent of like the four major areas is like abortion and women reproductive rights when it comes to like whether they're doing it talking at a rally or in a debate. They try to like get to the next question as quick as possible or the next topic as quick as possible, and that's where I get a little frustrated with them, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like they just don't want to do the research, and that's why they just go the extreme and just ban.
I don't know. I don't know. I would assume that if you're running for president, you do your research.
We're talking about Trump.
Yeah, but he's got so many people around him. I mean,
Yeah, but
JD Vance seems like a good guy.
He might be one of the best people if they get into office in a long time.
if Trump wins, JD Vance will be president before the end of 4 years.
The way I look at it too, it's not like
Maybe.
when I'm looking at the ballot, it's not. I'm not voting for Trump,
Yeah.
and I'm not like it's not like I'm not voting for Kamala. I'm looking at like who is the team
Right.
around these people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm voting for. I'm not because I think we get caught up so much, especially now with how much social media presence. Kamala versus Trump. Kamala versus Trump. It's like you're voting for a party to represent your country. You're not voting for a singular person because we know the president doesn't make the end all be all. It's not a dictatorship, right? So it's like, okay, I'm looking at JD, Bobby Kennedy, Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk. Those are the people that I'm putting my trust in.
Right. Yeah, Elon said that he's screwed if Trump doesn't win.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
The funny thing about Elon,
I heard he was in trouble for giving money away, though.
Well, he's also gonna, if Trump wins, he's releasing the Epstein list, which would be very interesting. He said.
Trump said he's gonna.
No, Elon.
Trump
How does
is
Elon
literally
have that?
flying around in Epstein's plane.
Well,
How does Trump or how does Elon have the Epstein?
because he's probably the most
list?
powerful guy in the world right now. I mean,
Trump
dude
is
from
on that
about
list,
Twitter.
dude. For sure.
There's a reason a lot of politicians probably were going after Trump so hard for the last 8 years.
Because he's on the Epstein list.
There's a lot of footage and there's a few pictures that I've seen with Trump and Epstein. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of cobwebs for Trump. I'm sure that Kamala has her cobwebs too.
Yeah, probably. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't think that any politician is clear cut and
Heck no.
like they're all just
Obama's were pretty clear cut and dry.
Oh,
They don't have any controversy.
No, they just ran our country into a rough spot and divided our country, but that's about it.
I would disagree with that.
Yeah, I figured you would. That's why I said it.
continue.
I don't know much about Obama, but I think in 2016 that our country was not in a bad spot.
Would you say we were better in 2019 than we are right now?
Better? No. Well, that's tough because, like, for me, dude, that's like literally when I was graduating college and getting like my first real job. So, like, in terms of like, was life better? Like, fuck yeah. But that's because my annual salary like quadrupled.
And that's pre-COVID.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is a whole
I
other
guess
beast.
because I'm 33.
Yeah. I'm 31.
Oh, I
You're
just took
31
forever
too.
in college.
I gotcha.
Took the slow lane, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went
Yeah.
from making like $30,000 a year with $8 an hour pay
Yeah.
to paying rent on time. So yeah, 2019 was pretty
Yeah, I
fucking
mean
dope.
you bring up a good point, right? I don't really that was when I was in college, like I was graduated 2017, so I never paid attention to politics at all.
No, I never did.
Until then.
Yeah.
So
Because 16 was the first election I was super invested in.
Okay.
Because I graduated in 13.
oh yeah.
So.
College in 13?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez.
And you went to Bethel, right?
No, I worked there for a little bit.
You worked there.
Yep.
Okay.
I went to Wisconsin River Falls.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, the pandemic threw a wrench in, I mean,
Oh yeah.
the world. The pandemic threw a huge wrench
Yeah.
in the world. We are still feeling the lingering effects. of the
I feel like
pandemic.
that was like the true, like when everyone like went full tilt. Just like the mask stuff.
Oh yeah,
Like I feel
that
like
was a true divide of our
like I
country.
wouldn't say we weren't like headed towards that way, but that was the big one where
doubt.
like I that's when I learned about a lot of people who were Republican who I like maybe could have guessed but didn't know they were so upset to wear a mask.
Never got the shot.
Yeah.
Never got the vid either, though.
Oh, I got the vid and the shot. But I got the vid long before the shot.
And that's
And I've just never gotten shots, though, too. That's been always mine.
Did you get a flu shot?
Nope.
Yeah.
Did you get a measles shot?
Just like the baby infant shots. That's about the only shots
The
ever.
ones you have to get to go to school?
Yeah, the tetanus and all those.
Right. Yeah. That's
Crazy time.
That's a wormhole.
Yeah.
That's a wormhole. That
Tanner,
Dude, I forgot.
Tanner and
had
I
some-
feel a
what-
little bit of tension
No,
right now.
Oh, I feel great.
Imagine having a brother-in-law that's a pharmacist.
I know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I talked to Tanner a lot about that.
That was some fun conversations we had.
I'm sure he was not too happy with what you were doing.
No.
Not getting the shot.
Wasn't helping his clinic make money.
No.
I
Definitely
think
not.
I might have got the shot at his clinic.
From him?
No. I transferred to his clinic just so in the odds I could see him.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I moved there.
What do you do for work, by the way?
I'm an analyst.
Okay, analyst.
Supporting. It's customer support analyst for MedDevice.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that entail?
I look at
Customer
Data.
mind habits?
pretty much like customer or order habits, not necessarily habits, but like order income, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it pretty much is just customer service, order processing. But I'm like one step above, so I manage some of our larger accounts, and then I do like the reporting from our team that gets sent off to like the senior leadership teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're obviously a realtor.
Yep.
You've been a mortgage broker too.
Mortgage broker, coach college football for 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you've done
Feel
quite
like
a few things.
done a few things.
Does college football have
And
its-
then director of admissions at Bethel for a little bit when you were wondering about the Bethel thing.
The director of emissions?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
At
oh,
Bethel.
admissions.
At Bethel.
Oh.
Admissions. Sorry.
Emissions. I was like,
Yeah,
actually
emissions. Yeah, we're on the same
we gotta
page with that
We're
change
doing the weave?
we gotta
No.
change these air filters, man.
Yeah.
Doing the weave.
Yeah.
Does college football have as many coaches as pro football?
Way more.
More?
Way more.
There's like a
Like an
coach per
academic
player.
coach?
I mean,
What?
you have
It seems
seriously, there's way more than NFL coaches. It's crazy.
Like,
Because I used to coach at University of Minnesota for about 3.5 years, then out at Washington State.
Were you one of the coaches out on the field during the games?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. I was a signaler my last year, so I was kind of
what's a signal?
like where you're signaling the plays, like the sign stealing stuff. Remember Michigan last year, Connor Stallions?
Oh.
He would have been trying to steal signs from me back in the day.
So do you have to use like the paper to cover your mouth?
No, we don't have
That
the.
always looks so cool when they do that.
Dude, that is so cool.
Yeah.
That's why
They put the playbook in front of their mouth.
That's why I
Yeah.
think baseball's so cool. They got their mitts. They're like,
Hey, why do catchers have the earpiece now? Have you seen that? I just saw that in the World Series.
It was because of Houston.
Oh,
They
so
were stealing
the
signs.
coach
Yeah.
calls in what, like how
Or
do
the
they-
catcher tells the pitcher what to throw.
Does the pitcher have an earpiece too?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Dang, that's kind of
So,
sick.
I mean, that's. yeah,
wasn't
big
there
part of
some
it.
delays? Like,
Probably. I'm
yeah,
sure
like
there's
some
a lot of
technical
complications with that.
difficulties.
I want to say with having the pitch clock too. Like, what if that thing goes down? Like,
Do you like the pitch clock?
I love it.
oh, how it
I
speeds those games up.
absolutely
Yes.
So
love it.
good.
I think everyone loves
I think
it.
you're the first like person that's played that I've been able to ask that.
Really?
Well, like past the high
Oh,
school.
like a baseball player?
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
everybody likes the pitch clock. I think it's necessary. There are
It's
some,
so sick.
and I've played with some pitchers who just take forever to get on.
Because
the
you
mound.
were a pitcher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, let's get this game moving. Come on,
Dude.
guys. We got 9 innings here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need to go 3 minutes in between every pitch.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And then a 3-2 count that takes a half hour.
And then
What are we doing?
they'll throw it to first.
Yeah.
Try to take the
I mean, that's
runner.
why everyone thought baseball was boring.
For
But
sure.
I think baseball's kind of coming back, and people are loving the game again.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that or I'm just like getting older and can sit and watch.
This last World Series was very entertaining.
It was.
That
I
was
mean,
cool.
every game was like a nail biter.
And there was just so much fun stuff.
Yeah.
Freeman,
Home runs.
dude.
Freeman is incredible.
Well, every game except the fifth
The last game.
Yeah.
He got
Yeah.
the first inning.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah,
guy
that
grabbing
was-
Mookie.
I don't know
Oh,
if I saw that.
He went for that
You
foul
didn't
ball.
see that?
Oh, yeah. The Yankees fan. The Yankees
yeah,
fan.
dude.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, the Yankees fell apart in that last game.
Oh, that was crazy.
Judge dropped that fly ball.
I read a stat that was his first misplay of the year.
Really?
First
Dang.
error. Yeah.
Dang.
Not the time, Judge.
I didn't check that
That was a
one
rough
out.
inning.
but-
Yeah. Shortstop had that bad throw to third. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's how you blow a game.
Yeah. Good stuff, though, for the Yanks.
I can attest to that. We blew a 5-run lead in the state championship game.
I was there, dude.
You were there.
No, I wasn't.
You weren't?
No.
Oh.
I know. I'm
No
sorry.
support?
I've heard this story way too many times.
Yeah. I don't need to tell you it again. It's tough, though.
Were you pitching?
Yep.
Oh.
I was pitching going into the inning, and then I got taken out.
Oh, you
after
were a
2 runs
starter?
scored and 2
Or wait.
runners were on. So I
You
started
were-
the whole game. I pitched.
Yeah, so you're starting pitcher?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was 13 years ago.
What do you mean, dude? That was
People don't
prime.
forget.
Oh, were we talking about high school? Are we talking about high school?
Yeah.
Oh, I probably was there then.
Yeah. Target
Yeah.
Field.
State champion.
Yeah, I
State
was there.
championship game. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It would have been our junior year.
Yeah, I was probably there.
Yeah. I still see the kid who got the game-winning hit like every week.
Why?
Really?
Where? You work
He's a
with
good
them?
friend of mine. I played
Oh.
3 years with him up in Duluth.
That's surprising.
Because there's like a summer league. It's called the Northwoods League. It's where college baseball players go to play in the summers. So you play with people from all around the country.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, reminiscing on the good old days. You grew up in Missouri?
Missouri and Wisconsin.
Missouri and Wisconsin.
Yep.
Okay.
Those
did
aren't that close.
Dad's job just moving around.
What does he do?
He worked at Kraft Foods.
Okay.
Macaroni.
Yep. So I was loaded up on mac and cheese in college.
Dude, I'm so
So I was
jealous,
selling. I was
actually,
selling
dude.
that stuff like cotton
you
candy. I was
really?
like walking down the dorm my freshman year. I would go back with like 36 because I would get like I'd walk into his plant and I would just pull him off the conveyor belt thing. I'd be walking in and I'm like I was sick of them at this time, right?
Yeah.
So that was like money walking down the hallways. Guys wanting them at like midnight or 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, $5. I'll give you here you go, like the ones you just put in the microwave. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Easy
Oh, the-
Mac.
The Easy
Dude.
Max. Yeah. I was just
Those are
passing that.
incredible.
You
I
could
was
have
eating
made
those all the
cake
time.
on that.
I was.
He was making
I was
cake.
baking cake. I was selling.
Dude,
when
here I
people were
was with
sober,
my
it was like
part-time
$3.
jobs.
When they were drunk, $5. So that's something.
That's hilarious.
Are you guys big drinkers?
Not anymore.
Either of you?
I like I don't like drink a lot of the light beer stuff. I'm more of like a good craft cocktail, craft beer, a couple of them here and there.
Okay. Your Instagram name is Bogo Kidney Style. You have one kidney.
No, I don't. I have two.
You have 2 kidneys?
Yeah, they're just
Why
both
is it?
for sale. No, I'm just kidding.
I've always wondered why it's Bogo Kidney Style. I figured
Because
you
buy
got
one,
your-
get one kidney
I
sale.
know,
It's
but I
hilarious.
figured you got rid of a kidney or you
No.
lost a kidney.
No, I just wanted my name separated from social media, and
Yeah, that's a good idea.
it just popped in my head and it was available.
Yeah,
And now I get compliments on it, so I can't change it.
yeah. I've changed my name a few times.
Yeah.
I figured I changed my name to Mitch from Minnesota because I figured if people ever go to Google who they just met or something, they could Google Mitch from Minnesota and then I would pop up.
dude.
Smart.
How many people are you meeting outside of Minnesota?
I don't know. I feel like
I
whenever
guess-
I travel, I'm
I
a
guess
pretty
I know.
social person, so
No,
I talk to a
I-
lot of different
yeah.
people.
I mean, you
And
host
obviously,
a podcast.
I've
Yeah.
talked to 70 different people. But
That's good stuff.
yeah. I don't know. What else do you guys got? Anything outside of politics? You guys got any good stories? Anything fun? lighten the mood. I feel like you got some tricks up your sleeve.
I don't know about tricks.
Say what's on your chest, man.
Oh, dude, we want to talk something fun, something new. I have a puppy.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
asked to bring the puppy.
Yeah,
I thought
of
that was the
course.
most ridiculous request ever.
What? That's a very normal request. I wasn't
To
gonna
bring
like
your dog?
I wasn't gonna have her like inside here.
You would have probably.
No, she would have. I didn't know your yard sits. You know.
Yeah.
What if you have like a huge fenced-in yard?
So I guess for me, but I have had a huge transition of dogs from now having kids. Like people think that they love their dogs and like you have this great bond with your dog, and I get it, you do. But Tom Segura said it best. If your kid bites your dog, you ain't killing your kid. If your dog bites your kid, you might take that dog out back. That's the difference between a kid and a dog. And
That's
the dog,
fair.
you still got to take care of it. You got to feed it. You got to let it out. It becomes another thing. And 3 kids, you guys, is a lot.
Yeah, you're
It's a
telling
lot
me,
of
man.
energy. It's a lot of work. Like they're constantly wanting new things every 15 seconds.
How old is
So-
your oldest?
3, turning 4 in January.
Sounds like a personal problem.
You ever met a 3-year-old?
No.
Ever
Yes,
had a
yes, I have.
conversation
Yes,
with a
yes.
3-year-old?
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
negotiating with a 3-year-old.
No, I know plenty of children.
Well,
All my no,
which way do you want to go with that?
no, all my
clip
friends,
that.
all my.
I'm-
I'll show it to my niece. She'll love it.
I know lots of children.
Plenty.
Yeah, you should have seen me at Oktoberfest. They were all over. I golfed with 3 kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Kids are fun. I have a blast with my kids. I love them so much. I'm just saying, like, it is not for the weak-hearted. Like you,
Yeah.
they bring every emotion out of you.
So how old's your pup then?
Good question.
Dog
6, 7,
first?
something.
So
Or
dog
We
first.
adopted him. He was in a shelter.
You wanted a kid so bad. He's
Huh?
like, let's just get a dog.
The kid might have been a whoopsie. The first one, but that's, it was a blessing.
Those are the best ones.
Yes, absolutely. The wife wanted the dog. I was against the dog, actually.
Anti-dog.
And then she wanted another dog, and
Oh,
now
don't
she's
do
like
the 2
wants
dogs.
to get rid of the first dog.
Yeah, dude. Do not do the 2 dogs.
Yeah, 2 dogs is a lot. Then you'd be asking to bring 2 dogs over.
Oh, never.
During
dude.
a dog ride, your dog's
Ridiculous.
barking the whole time.
I would get 2 dogs so I wouldn't feel terrible leaving her in my apartment.
Yeah, I did feel bad saying no, but I was like, my wife would kill me if you brought
No,
a dog
that's
here. She'd
that's
be-
an only
she'd be so
excuse.
pissed.
You could have responded wife. And I would
Yeah.
have said like, ooh,
Yeah,
good call.
you were
good
very
call.
understanding. But
Yeah.
I also got it, like you said, your dog is about to go through heat or something,
Her first heat should be any minute.
which is a period for a dog.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Why do they call it heat? They get
Heat of the
hot.
moment, I guess.
Heat of
I
the
don't know, man.
Interesting.
I
Is
don't
that
know.
just off the cuff?
Well, sure.
You're just riffing?
Write it down.
What do you do for that?
Diapers.
Okay.
Put diapers on the dog?
Yeah. Or you go get
See,
them
this is what I'm
spaded.
saying. You're not putting diapers on a dog when you have 3 kids.
No, yeah, you should. Don't get a puppy when you have
Yeah.
kids.
People do.
I'm not. Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
smart.
Our neighbors have 4 kids.
And 4 dogs.
They don't have any dogs.
Oh yeah, smart.
But like all the neighbors have dogs, so their kids get tons of time with dogs.
Yeah.
And they're like, they get their dog fix.
Exactly. I was gonna say they got
They
the,
have
the
chickens,
best
though.
situation. Oh,
They-
Yeah. They're
Dude.
chickens.
They
But
give you
chickens are
eggs.
like,
Did you get some eggs?
they just got their first couple eggs. I haven't tried them yet.
Okay.
But I'm excited to have some eggs for
It's a-
sure.
it's a game
Fresh from the
changer.
chicken. Did you have
No,
chickens?
I've had some friends that have ever given me some chicken. They're so good. They're so
yeah.
fresh. You can taste such a big difference.
Yeah. And they look different.
Yeah.
The color,
Yeah.
They look.
not
Like-
processed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a topic in itself. I mean, and we
Is
don't have to get
there,
political about it at all, but
The only thing I want to know is there even like a party that lobbies more for that?
Bobby.
yeah, Robert Kennedy Jr.,
R-
right? RFK.
RFK.
He wants to what?
His whole thing
fix
is
the food system.
the food.
So who's
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Actually.
who's the couple?
because his thing is Maha, make America healthier.
Ah.
Um,
You should check with his throat first, but
Seriously.
That's his
What
voice
family?
is a
Couple?
tough situation, but he's obviously a pretty smart cat.
Because he said in I think it was 2005 was the first time he started really pressing the government about it, and he just kept getting like shot down
About our food,
Mhm.
and there's so much processed crap. I mean, America's fat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's insane.
Like we do need to get America healthy.
think we
need
can
to stop
all
eating
agree on
at
that one.
McDonald's. We need to probably not drink so much and do a bunch of drugs. I mean, that's like the first steps, right? It's like don't eat like crap, don't drink a bunch, don't do drugs, and you might start to feel a little bit better.
Problem
Like,
with not
why do I feel bad? Well, like what's your eating habits? What's your workout routine? What is
so we switched to the Olipop.
these help you poop. These things are great.
Really?
These are
Well, you got a little probiotic in there?
prebiotic.
Mm.
So what would
These
happen
are
if I drank
incredible.
6 of those? Because that's my
You-
issue is now that I don't drink.
What, you're
like
constipated?
no. But like I'll get like a 8-pack or whatever of the bubbly.
Oh,
I'll
those are
drink-
good too.
I'll drink like 6 of them in a night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's-
it's not.
That's
Doesn't
just
make my-
donated water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like it still hurts the tummy.
Does it? Well,
A
if you
little
drink
bit.
6.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
can't do
Imagine
it.
if you drink 6 beers. You're on the
6
floor.
is pretty low.
So you don't drink it all anymore?
Not really. No,
No.
I haven't in. Oh, I guess I drank last Saturday, but
So you do drink.
6 days ago.
happy hour ended at 6. So no, I'm trying to cut back.
Okay.
So
It's good. I mean, you'll see a lot of changes really quick. I haven't drank in 11 months or something now.
that's sweet.
And I mean, for like 13 years of my life, from college till I was 30, not an
Boozing it
alcoholic,
up.
or I didn't consider myself an alcoholic, but, I had drinks on Fridays and Saturdays, and sometimes Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays,
Yeah.
Thursdays. It depended on
I mean, like
the
if,
situation I was in.
like yeah, dude, the Wild are playing.
But then it becomes this thing that you latch on to, that you feel like you have to have it to be social. And I don't think it's something that we don't have to have alcohol involved in social
No.
situations.
Right.
But
You
you
can
get
sit here, you can
you
drink
get
water,
used to
you
it.
can have a Red Bull, I can have an Olipop, and we can have a conversation.
I agree.
yeah, it's past my bedtime.
And you think that the booze loosens you up, but realistically, it just takes time to loosen up when you're around people.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. That's
Booze are
just-
actually a placebo for
It
that
is.
concept.
Just
It's
pro
a person.
or it just
yeah, 100%.
just pushes my anxiety until it wears off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, it's a little shield, but
Social
creep back.
social anxiety is definitely a thing.
But-
For that reason, it's like a coping thing for
A
sure.
co- yeah,
'Cause I've
100%.
definitely been there.
Where you're just like, I need a drink.
Yeah, because I think,
Why
it's
do
going
we
to make
just
me
resort
relax
to
and
that?
fit in, and
Yeah. If I just have something in my hand, like, then I'll be comfortable.
Right.
That's so
like,
weird.
Like, what do I do with my
What a
hands?
yeah, what
Yeah.
a weird concept. I do think that the world is shifting into a less alcoholic world. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
pretty
that
cool.
We're going into a direction where people aren't using alcohol as much.
Right.
I think a
Yeah,
lot of people are just stopping because
Straight cold turkey.
I heard
too.
that the younger generation.
they don't
What
drink
is-
as
I heard-
much.
yeah, I heard they're-
It's more than
I heard it's not even
gummies
like
and
a
stuff, I thought a little bit.
Yeah, I heard it's not
Probably,
even
and they're
like a
more
thing.
medicated.
They're just like weird. You drink, but
Yeah.
they're like, I have a pack of gummies on me right now.
Or
like
vape pen.
yeah, vaping in the bathrooms.
I mean, we're creatures of habit and we're creatures of addiction. So if you're not addicted to one thing, you're probably going to be addicted to another.
Oh,
Like
it just gets
coffee.
passed
I
on.
drink a ton of coffee. I have tons of caffeine.
4 cups a day minimum.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, I don't know.
It used to be 6.
Yeah, I think we all heavily rely on our substances.
For sure. What do you think of all that stuff? All those like doctor gurus post out about like, oh, you shouldn't have caffeine after X time. You should only eat this much red meat or protein and all that. Because I know you have like a lot of these like, I don't know, like Mark whatever's Dowdell or whatever.
Dowdell, yeah.
Like he's a big health guy and you had him
Yeah.
on. Like, what's your thoughts on like all like the different
I think
stuff they're really pushing health wise and all that?
I think you have to really find what works for you. I think that a lot of our bodies are very different and work in different ways. And I mean, we're the same in a lot of ways as well, but I think you have to trial and error until you figure out what makes your body feel good. You can hear a million different things from a million different people.
Right.
And some of it might work, some of it might not. So I think it's really up to the person. And I think that you just have to try different things. What worked for me was I did a lot of intermittent fasting. It was just I would have a banana in the morning, but then I wouldn't eat until noon. And when I stopped drinking, I probably lost 20 pounds within the first 2 months. And since I was probably 205 pounds when I stopped.
Wow.
And now I'm 175. So probably 30 pounds overall.
But did you change anything else?
I mean, I was definitely you get healthier. Yeah, for sure. Because, you see these changes and then you're going to the gym more, you're eating healthier, you're seeing your body progress, and it just motivates you to continue to keep going.
Yeah. I think the thing with drinking too, though, it's not just like that. It's like all of a sudden at like 11 o'clock at night, you're like, oh, I'm hungry. So I just go grab a bag of chips, or I go like, I think it's the food that actually sometimes makes you feel worse in the morning because of what you ate like right before bed sometimes than it is like
for sure
the drinking.
Yes.
Like a greasy ass Taco Bell meal, and then all of a sudden you go to bed right after. Like, it feels so good in the moment. Love T-Bell. Big fan.
Endorse T-Bell.
Again, algorithm. We're trying. We got T-Swift to T-Bell. Like, we are hitting it all.
Yeah, I notice a lot more about how I feel throughout a day since I stopped drinking. I notice if I eat bad, I notice my mood changing a lot. Like, and especially with my kids and everything, like I'm quicker to react. I'm less patient. Grumpy. Like if I had some crap breakfast, if I had a bunch of sugar for breakfast or whatever it was, I noticed a lot of changes throughout my mood.
Is that like if you woke up tomorrow and had like sugar for breakfast, would you notice it? Or is that more like...
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I would notice it probably around 10, 11 o'clock, a couple hours after. And I would just start to be irritable, or I'd get a stomach ache, or...
Do you think that also has to do with just the fact of like your daily routine? Like, if you have 3 kids you have to take care of?
Yeah, maybe. I think it's
so you maybe need more of that mental energy though.
Maybe like I'm more aware of it because if I feel
I'm just honestly just curious.
I was curious if going off your point, if it's like your child's maybe setting like an example. Like if I'm gonna make I'm gonna make food for the kids that's healthy, but I'm gonna eat like why would I make a separate junk type? Why not just make one big healthy family
100%
dish?
And that's what you should do.
Right.
You notice it in your kids too. Oh, your kids have candy. They go nuts. Like they're bouncing off walls and they're throwing fits.
They trick or treat last night?
Yeah, we got tons of candy. Like way too much candy. I got to bring it into work.
Well, did you hear all the ads going on around like the different like places you can bring that they're gonna like donate to like military and stuff? I guess. If you have like all this,
really?
Yeah. If there's like they're like advertising, like, there's like it's kind of like the toy drives and stuff like that. Like,
I don't know how much good that will do.
Different places. I don't know either. But at least it's
my
going
candy to someone
good.
else. Yeah, right. But it's not something good that you're giving.
No,
you're giving.
I don't know why that's like getting advocated now all of a sudden,
right.
But
you're donating crap to other people.
Yeah. Maybe it'll give them a smile.
Yeah,
like, good Snickers.
Hopefully,
yeah, like pick me up from those meals they eat over there. Just
and I still eat shit. Sometimes, like I'm still eating candy out of my kids' bags, and like
don't you
definitely not perfect.
Don't you love waffles?
I love waffles.
Yeah,
I love waffles.
Eggos?
Protein waffles.
What
are they called? They actually just had a Kodiak. They just had a recall.
Really?
Yeah, and I was eating them, and
Are you
my wife was
right
FaceTiming one of her friends, and she's like, "Those just got recalled." And then she read the serial number, and she's like, "Yep, that's one of the ones that was recalled."
Dude, maybe you'll be a part of a class action.
Seriously.
Yeah, that'd be kind of nice. But I feel okay, so.
Well, you do now.
Do now, yeah.
You do to us.
The delayed effects.
Yeah,
once you're talking to the jury.
Yeah, I'm going to call this out so there's no evidence.
Oh, they'll find it.
But what you put into your body is very important. It's what you put out to the world. So we got to make sure that we're putting good stuff into our body and we're putting good vibes out into the
I would
world.
say both what you're taking in food, but also taking in like mentally too.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Just gotta treat people how you want to be treated. I think that's the main thing. And that's kind of the point that I feel like we should get across with this episode is, yes, you think differently. Yes, you think differently.
Right.
That's totally okay.
Yeah.
But how do you want to be treated and how do you want to be treated? You want to be treated with fairness and you want to be treated with kindness. And that's how we should treat everybody.
Right.
Whether you think different or not, it doesn't matter. Just be interested, be curious, and just, it is what it is. You're never going to change how someone thinks. And the more you try to change how someone thinks, the more harm you're going to do. Exactly.
Yep.
And they're going to be pissed off at you. And you're going to get pissed.
Yeah. So who knows, if we accomplished anything with this, but if people can take anything away, it's just treat people the way that you want to be treated. So if you want to be treated like shit, then you should treat people like shit. And you should be a dick to people. And that's exactly what you'll get back.
It's what you just said about what you put into this world, what you kind of get out of it. And just like I said it earlier too, it's, again, disagreeing isn't disrespecting.
No.
And that's the line we have come to.
And that's a beautiful thing. We
And, like,
should be able to have these conversations. That's what they did before social media.
Well, I even think like you're not going to make a Yankees fan a Red Sox fan and a Red Sox fan a Yankees fan. And that's essentially what I feel like Democrats and Republicans are.
100%.
But for some reason,
that's a great comparison.
Like I don't know, I was like I think because of the blue and the red thing, maybe I don't know.
You just riffing right there?
We're just riffing.
You're just riffing. That was a great riff. We're clipping that. It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds bad to say that, politics and sports can relate, but honestly it can if you think about it.
100%.
That is what it is right now.
Yeah. So,
People are willing to die on a hill. And like look at the fist fights that go on at sporting events.
Oh, yeah.
For their team versus the other team. Like 49ers fans, I remember beating the crap out of LA Rams fans at football games and stuff. And it's like, because you're a Rams fan?
Right.
Like, come on.
Because
we're in a crazy world.
Because you root for
a different team?
A different group of guys? Like, that's a little...
That don't even know you.
That don't even know you. They don't care about you. And you're fucking
little sauce.
Yeah, it's a little sauce, man. Let's just all take a chill pill. It's all good as long as you're breathing. But I don't know. Do you guys have anything that you want to leave the people with? Do you guys have any final thoughts? Any?
Just vote. Or I hope you did vote.
Hope you did vote.
Yeah.
Who knows who's president right now?
Yeah.
That's kind of the cool thing.
Dude.
Or maybe I could just.
I think they're gonna
toss
tie.
out but
the old 269 bit. Yeah. And then it's like in NFL draft, they just do a coin toss.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It's just Trump versus Kamal, and they're
Dude, can you imagine?
No, Joe has to do it.
Yeah.
Dude.
And then he's just like, he can't get the quarter on his hand. It's
Drops
shaking
it.
so bad.
Yeah. That would be nuts. I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh,
but
sweetie.
I know that we can control our own actions, and I know we can control how we treat people, and I know that we can lead with love.
Yeah.
Lead with
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say,
You can go ahead.
for me, I'm just like, just happy I live in Minnesota. Yeah, I feel like it eases the stress a little bit in this certain election
Yeah, for sure.
for what I view in.
Yeah. And I would honestly just say, like, for my closing thoughts, it was just not to get too biblical or things like that too, but because I know some people have certain views of Jesus and the church and whatever. But I haven't been a Christian my whole life. I didn't start till I was about 26 and a half probably. And I hit complete rock bottom. And what I've learned about Jesus the last 6+ years is he's not like, you don't have to be perfect. He doesn't want that. He just wants essentially what you're saying, to serve each other well, to love each other, care for one another. And if we just would just go down a route like that, and just even as simple, like I said, our moral compass, because even if you think about the 10 Commandments, like honor your father and your mother. Well, it starts with the father and mother leading their household well first, right? And then just like, thou shalt not covet. but that's all we have with social media in our face nowadays, right? Like, oh, they got this job, or LinkedIn, they got this promotion, they make this much money, they got on this trip, they have this car, this house, whatever. And then just like, that shouldn't steal, and just like the whole list there. So I'm just like, man, we're making, I think, society a lot harder than it needs to be. We could really just like dumb it down, and things would be a lot more civilized.
Absolutely. And whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, like if you listen to the sermons from like an Eagle Brook or, a church like that, like they're talking about super relevant topics that everyone can relate to. Whether you believe in God or not, it's a lot of the times it's not even necessarily about God or Jesus. It's just about what's happening in the present day. And it's a really like feel good message, and they're not like attacking people by any means. It's just trying to get a good message across.
Yeah.
So that was beautiful. That was cool.
Right on.
Well, that was fun. Can you guys like shake hands?
Yeah.
For sure, man.
That
was exactly what
I'll shake your
I
hand.
feel like-
said it was gonna
that
be.
was cool.
No, I feel like the only time you get to talk politics is either when you're trying to bash it on a keyboard, or you guys are winding down and everyone's had about 12 too many.
Yeah, that's 100%. Everyone's
Yeah.
got liquid courage, and now all of a sudden they know everything about
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
anything.
It's all just
Oh,
yelling.
yeah.
Well,
Thanks,
for coming.
Mitch, for having us.
Yeah.